What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about GNS just for a moment, because when it gets to this point, it starts to get interesting to us again, and we decide to talk about it. So I'm going to show you why I think it's interesting right now, what I'm looking for, what could be the potential dangers, and we'll look at the ortex as well. As always, it's not financial advice, it's just for your entertainment. So anyway, getting into the information. GNS, we called it out, I don't know, several days back, looking for a pop off of this fib line. It got a pretty nice pop off of the fib line. So where are we at right now? We are just a fuzz below the fib line, about 5 cents, give or take. So why does that make it interesting? Well, it's either going to act as a point of resistance, right? Or it's going to act as a new point, again, as support. We're going to find out here pretty soon. So it makes the risk to reward, as long as you're protecting your accounts both to the downside and making good choices to the upside, a pretty interesting spot. I like interesting spots. Sometimes we want to wait for that confirmation. That's fine. You know, wait and see if you get that strength and hold above $2.18. I'll show you also why I think this is interesting is because of this trend line. Best way I came up with drawing it as far as seeing a false breakout here, but everywhere else it has been acting as a pretty good resistance zone. But as we go on throughout the remainder of after hours and get into tomorrow, either this trend line is going to be broken and act as support and push to the upside, which would bring our fib line right here at $2.18 into play for us, acting as support if you can get a breakout, right, retest and push from there. And if it acts as resistance, right, we have our trend line, we have our fib line. Both of those are going to be nice indicators as far as resistance, and maybe we should be watching to protect our accounts as far as the downside continues in GNS. So that's what I'm looking at as far as the charts go in the near immediate future is, will the strength come back in and continue to push this one for us in the right direction to the upside? It's difficult to play anything to the upside right now because of just the market situation, the sentimentality around the markets. It makes it tough. But if we got an active CEO on Twitter that continues to push out info on his company, then fine. You know, maybe that will be a little bit of a key to success in being able to play something to the upside. Volume stepped back tremendously to a degree. We've seen much more active days, but I think everything might just have low volume, and as far as the week goes until after, say, Wednesday, Thursday, then we might see a little bit of right now there's that uncertainty as to what's actually going to happen, FOMC minutes. So people just kind of playing safe, letting it chop around, do its thing. As far as the RSI goes on the 1 hour, definitely in bearish territory, oversold by all means, had a pretty big pullback today. Even as far as our 4 hour goes, it is curling just ever so slightly. So maybe our shorter time frames will want to turn around and make that $2.18 fib line and break out of the trend line. I can't guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Our daily still continuing down, so we need our shorter time frames to really start to push. But our 30-minute got a nice little pop. Our 5-minute, how's it looking? It's running pretty strong. Again, this could just be a run back and fake us out. But if we see that breakout, retest, and push off of here, then I would be looking for potentially another nice little run in GNS for either a scalp or a short-term play. Just play it smart, right? Don't diamond hand anything that you don't have 100% confidence in. Again, your trading plan's your trading plan, but if we're just looking to make some money in the markets, we got to play it smart as of right now until everything starts going party mode and it's just green, green, green every day, all day. As of right now, that time has not come yet, and we are going to wait patiently until it does. So at that point, you have to have a trading plan, whether you're scalping for nice, easy 10%, 20% gains, whether you're seeing if it'll run to the moon and protecting yourself on the way down with a nice stop loss that's still going to finish you out green. Also a nice plan. If you're just, I don't know, if you have endless funds and you want to keep DCA and things, you know, that's a trading plan as well. So you're welcome to do that. here's some targets for the upside if and only if we get the trend line breakout and the support at $2.18. I would be watching to see if it can cut back up to $3.34. From there, be watching it pretty close. We get a lot of volume that comes in between 362 and 417, so that could be a little bit of either a hesitation or a boost. Either way, a lot of times where we have the heavy volume, that's more of a hesitation, so trying to get back to $4.27 might be a little bit difficult. But if it gets up and above there, breakout, retest, and a push, then we're going through a nice little volume gap again, which could bring us almost to that $4.89 range, and potentially up to the 618 fib at $5.21. But again, let's not put the cart before the horse. We just take it one step at a time here. I call out levels that I'm looking at so that we can see how it's moving and if it's moving through those levels, if there's support, if there's rejection, if it's resistance, right? Keep that in mind. So right now, risk to reward, we're at $2.13. Had a pretty big little wick down here, down to a low of $1.95. So I'm hoping if there was, that downside, then I would be watching almost. I guess you could play down to that wick as if you wanted, but if we lose that wick, things are definitely going to be going to the opposite direction as far as if you're trying to play a long position. But risk to reward setups are great. That's what we kind of like to look for, as far as what could I easily stop out at, and what are the potentials to the upside if they make sense. Cost to borrow average on GNS, they look great. Costing them a lot of money if they want to borrow these shares, 328.15%. Nothing wrong with that. Saying utilization is maxed out 100%, and then we do have live short interest percent of the free float coming in at 19.09%. Says 2.05 million shares live short interest. Little bit of a reduction there, but nothing crazy. I mean, still pretty high as far as the float goes and as far as what we have as short interest that is coming into this. So the potential for a short squeeze is not over. The bad thing is the markets are just not healthy enough right now to really want to push anything crazy unless you have that sentimentality kind of that support that's going on, and if you have stellar news that comes out and wants to continue to push on these things. So keep an eye on whatever kind of community is going on. Keep an eye on what the CEO is doing, saying, is he moving anything in the right direction? I think some of those coupons were redeemable on the 15th, and some people may have had some issues collecting them. Some people may not have. It's one of those things. It's the internet. Sometimes things just take a little bit of time to work out the kinks because it doesn't work just like you think it would. I think that was a brilliant idea to offer that as an incentive, because the funds seem to be going right back into GNS. So it's almost like he was giving out a I don't want to call it a dividend, but almost a dividend for holding, and then it goes right back into funding him. So it was almost a no cost to the company sort of situation, which was brilliant. So, I mean, Roger has some nice ideas. At least he's trying, and I think that's why it continues to get the support and the focus that it does. Is it going to do a whole lot for the company? I don't know that that's going to do a whole lot for the company. I mean, we saw that dividend get paid, and as far as anything happening after the 15th, you can kind of see it's just been coming down, down, down. So it didn't have the effect that I think a lot of people were hoping that it would have. But at the same time, it's something, right? You got to try something in situations, and at least he's trying something. So I give him some major kudos for at least attempting to do something and engaging retail. But like I said, be watching this $2.18 closely, and have a trading plan if you lose this lower area down here at the wick around $1.95, because that's going to indicate that we could very well be going lower we're fighting basically a low here, to get back above as well, to get back above that trend line, to get back above that fib line. So a lot of resistance that's going to come in there, but if it does make that break, then it gives me a little bit of hope that there might be an upside play here. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you had a good day in the markets. Be careful this week. If you see profits, if you see areas take money, I would almost consider taking what the market gives you, because I do think things could get a little haywire here midweek, and then it'll all smooth out from there. So trade with a plan. Have a plan of action before you ever get into anything, and have an exit plan as well. You can always get back into a play. It doesn't mean you don't like it. All right, guys. Have a good one. I will catch you in the next one. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.